Hi, welcome to this online presentation. My name is Scott C. Campbell and I'm the founder of Affecting People's Lives, and I'm going to show you this 3x3 step formula to making you and your business a success. And this is the actual 3x3 step formula. We're going to be going into it in a lot more detail soon, just to give you an overview of what it is. And during this online presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me in a minute, which will be a very small little bit about me, so I won't be going on for ages. And then I'm going to tell you why I put together the Affecting People's Lives 3x3 formula. Also going to sort of share a story to find out if the Affecting People's Lives 3x3 formula is for you, because obviously it might not be for you. And then I'm going to tell you about what happened in August 2013. And then we're going to go through the solution, which is the 3x3 formula. So is the story around the APL 3x3 formula for you, and the story around August 13 will kind of really open up of why the 3x3 formula works and is successful for my clients, and then we'll go through that in quite a bit of detail. And then I'm going to quickly share with you two ways in how to implement the 3x3 formula. And so just start a little bit about me. Well, I'm a business mentor and marketing strategist expert. A lot of people class me as a business coach, but I'm not really kind of a mentor and magic, because it's all about, for me, the implementation and challenging and being there for the business owners. I'm really passionate about helping small business owners, and so my relationship with business owners is really they're being there for you. So it's not just the sessions I have with my clients. Those of you who know me and have seen me interact with my clients will know that it's a different relationship than what a normal sort of kind of business coach or business mentor has relationship, because I feel it has to get personal and I have to get to know you, obviously, and be a big part of your life to make your business a success. So over 27 years experience working in marketing and sales, and with all different types of businesses and all sizes, from multi-million pound businesses to a 1.3 billion pound business, to working with startup businesses and beauticians and so forth like that, and really that is kind of where my passion is now, is really sort of helping the small business owners that are kind of single, that really have all the biggest issues and can benefit more. Over my years, I've run 7 £1 million plus businesses, and biggest success throughout that was turning a £7 million business into £11 million business over 18 months. So that was probably the biggest success. And also, I think it's really important about me is that you know that I preach what I teach. So all the things that I go through with my clients, things like how to, your power hours, your personal development sessions, strategizing your business, everything that I teach, and I actually do preach as well. Working a 30-hour week. I think it's really important that your business plan and your business works around your life and your life plan, and I do that. I mean, those that know me will know that very much structure my business around doing things around with my kids, because I have 3 kids now, and taking them to school and picking up my 10-year-old is really important to me. So I do preach what I teach. I do build my business around my personal life, and still make my business a success. And I think that's really important, because there's a lot of people out there that will go, oh, you can have a successful business and only work 4 hours a week or 1 hour a week, and that for me is all rubbish. Most of you would be watching this, would be running a business and probably working God knows how many hours, and it's just to get it down to what you want to do around your lifestyle and your life plan. So for me, it's 30 hours a week, so that's what I do. So it's really important that you understand that I teach what I preach. All the things that I go through with my clients, I really kind of preach what I teach. So that's important. So let's go into the story now about why the Affecting People's Lives 3x3 formula, and really, it's around I spent 3 months searching for why. Not my why, because my vision is very clear. I went and spent some time with an alignment coach and got my vision and my mission for my business, which is where Affecting People's Lives was born. But I spent, after sort of successfully working with a lot of different clients, I spent 3 months searching for why. And that why was, why did my clients fall into one of three categories. We've got some of them that the big successes straight away. A lot of them. Some of our clients fall into the blue box, which I call long-term projects. So not where we expect an instant success, but we're working on a year's plan or a 6-month plan, or working on particular projects. And then the other one that really struggled about why is there a couple of clients here and there that just don't get it. A year down the line, I still see them struggling. We've parted ways, and I still see them struggling. I still see them doing all the mistakes, and for me it's frustrating, because I think, well, we went through that, surely they can see that, and I really struggle with why that is, because it's particularly with my type of business, but anyone's business, you can't have sort of failures. If you're dealing with clients particularly, you can't have the product or the service not doing what you want it to do all the time, because that doesn't help you, and it certainly doesn't help them. And that was a real issue for me, about why a couple of people were really struggling. So I really spent 3 months searching for that why. And it's very easy to say, oh, it's just them, and that's what a lot of people were telling me, actually. It's just them. You can't help everyone. But I wasn't happy with that. And it was after I spent some time with Jamie Smart, who went through this analogy, which really got it for me, is that if you want to stop smoking, you go to a doctor's, and we all probably know someone that's stopped smoking or tried to stop smoking in their lifetime. So you go to a doctor's, who tells you to stop smoking, and it's healthy, it's all the right thing. The doctor's got all these facts and figures to tell you why you should stop smoking, and that it will make you healthier. So that, and you come out of the room and you do stop smoking, and with every good intention. So you implement that action and stop smoking straight away. Then, in about 3 or 4 days' time, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, however long it takes, that's if you know someone that's been through that, where they tried to stop smoking, and you see them smoking again, and you ask them why have you started smoking again, and then they start coming up with excuses about, oh, it was, I've had a stressful week at work, or I've had a Barney with the missus, or oh, the kids are getting on my nerves, or this happened, that happened. It's just excuses that come into it. And really, I found that with everyone that fell into the red box, that were really struggling, that whenever I was on the phone to them, we're meeting, face to face, and we're sort of saying, well, what happened to this that we was going to implement? It was, oh, well, I was going to do it, but then I had to do this, and then that happened. And it's really kind of them excuses that stop you. For me, so the stop smoking analogy, it's right to stop smoking, but these excuses come into life, and life happens, and you start smoking again. And that's the same about why people fall into that red box. It's because really there's life excuses, and they haven't gone away and implemented all the actions we took. So that's where the APL format really was born, or the 3x3 formula was born, because I needed to, after listening to Jay Smart and having that thing, I thought I need to put something in place now that deals with that head on, that deals with them excuses, because life does happen, and something's going to happen. It's not always going to be smooth. It's not always going to be a bed of roses. Things happen, and it's how we deal with them excuses that's to stop us smoking again and carry on implementing the stuff and making our business a success. So this is a real question about, is the Affecting People's Life 3x3 formula for you? And this is the best way I can sum it up, really. If you have these busy weeks, and you have these weeks where you're just really, really busy, but you don't see a massive increase in your sales and your clients, then the 3x3 formula is for you. Okay, because if you have a busy week, that should be totally aligned with an increase in sales on clients. And if it's not, there is a fundamental problem in your business. You'll never get the success that you want. So the busy weeks can be, oh, I had to do this, I had to drop the kids off at there, I had to take the car into this, I had to do that. And you just find yourself really, really busy. And you convince yourself, oh, I've had a really busy week this week. And like me, you probably heard people, I hear people say all the time, so how's your week been? Oh, it's been really, really busy this week. And I go, "Oh, and how's the business?" You know, and I think, well, if you have a really, really busy week, you should say, you should be able to say, yeah, I've had a really, really busy week, but I've taken a lot more sales and clients, so maybe I can have a rest next week or the week after. So I planned in some rest time to recover a little bit. And if you do have these busy weeks and you don't see an increase in sales, then really it's a fundamental problem. You'll probably be, and if you do nothing about it, and this might be really harsh, but if you do nothing really about it, you're in 1 year will go past and you'll be sitting in the same situation you are now, and your business wouldn't have moved forward that much at all. It would have probably moved backwards, if anything. And you're probably, done loads of sort of stuff and DVDs and online webinars and stuff like that, trying to find out what the missing are, and you'll be looking for the magic pill by this stage. And it's because of these busy weeks, and it's really about having that. And this is why the 3x3 formula will stop that, so that you still have busy weeks. I still have busy weeks now. Some of my clients have busy weeks, but when they do, it's totally aligned with an increase in sales and an increase in clients. Or it can be where that comes the week after. So if I run quite a few events. If I run an event, and particularly a lot of my seminars and my low cost workshops and stuff like that, if I run one of them, I'm really busy that week to running that event, to get that event sorted out and get it organised and getting everything, making sure everything is smooth and getting people to the event and so forth like that. So I have a really, really busy week. So I might not take an increase in sales or clients that week because I've been really busy organising this event. But what the event will bring me, the event will bring me an increase in sales. The event itself will bring me one-to-one clients. We'll fill up other workshops, high-end workshops and stuff like that. So that busy week that week, I will see the benefit the week after. So you can still have busy weeks, but you've got to see it absolutely have an effect in your sales and clients. You have really, really busy weeks and that resonates with you, really just kind of been really busy this week, but you don't see an increase in sales and clients, and that's been ongoing for quite a while, then definitely the Affecting People's Life 3x3 formula is absolutely ideal for you. So let me take you back to August 2013, and if you're watching this and you've met me and you know me, you've been the networking of me for a little while, or you'll know this story a little bit. But so August 2013 was, and particularly the 5th of August 2013 was my little girl, my third child, little Leah, was born. And there she is and there she is playing with her two brothers at the local swimming pool. And so this, as you can imagine, August, so as you can see I've got two older boys there, so they were on school holidays. My wife was really ill throughout the whole pregnancy, very ill and bedridden near the end and hospitalised near the end of the pregnancy. When Leah was born, unfortunately she was born with the umbilical cord around her neck and stopped breathing, and had to kind of fight for her life a little bit, and also my wife was being really profusely sick and really struggling and fighting for her life as well. So the upshot was that, they're both healthy now and both great, so there's not a bad end to the story, it's a good end to the story. And as you can see, she's already there. She's just about 10 months, and then in the picture of the boy, she was about 7 or 8 months old then, maybe a bit younger actually, but they're 6 months. But the upshot was that they spent the first 10 weeks of her life, my wife and the baby spent in hospital, in Broomfield Chelmsford Hospital, and they looked after her and were great. And so August 2013 was really, and then what went on to be September and then a bit of October 13 was a real stretch on my life balance, obviously my work-life balance, because I had my wife and my baby in hospital for them 10 weeks. At the same time, I also had my two elder boys who actually needed to, we had moved house in June as well, a couple of months beforehand, and hadn't really done anything really on the house because my wife was pretty much was actually the weekend we moved. She was taken to hospital, so so we hadn't really done anything. So the schools needed sorted out for both the boys, and also they were on summer holidays, so that wasn't great. And because of where we've been moving, and they were both out of school anyway, so that it was there was a loads going on. Now August 2013, my sales in my business grew 226.4%. And the reason why that was is because I didn't, these things that were going on in my life at the time were absolutely massively important, and the most important thing in my life. And being a single owner business owner, I have a lot of outsourcing things that I do for the admin and stuff like that, but essentially I'm a single owner business, and as you know, with single owner business, it's a very linear relationship. So if you don't work, there's no money coming in, and obviously no money coming in at that time wasn't the priority. It was about obviously the health of the family. But what happened is that I didn't just use that excuse and stop working for the whole of August and the whole of September. Initially, I put a couple of things off that I'd planned in 2 weeks off anyway to have as, obviously for Nicole and Leah, and it was in the school holidays. But obviously that was long again, for a lot longer than just 2 weeks. But what happened is I still did things. My existing clients was doing stuff with them at crazy hours. With the boys and all that. I still went to networking events because that's where 85% of my clients come from. So I still went to a couple of networking events. I prioritised 2 that I wanted to go to. One was my own one that we'd started running in July as well, so I had to fulfil that. And then I wanted to jump to, so I, in between visiting, going backwards and forwards from the hospital, the 2 older boys saw every film that summer in the cinema. So put them in a cinema, then in a cinema, and then go to a networking event, and pick them up and go back to the hospital. I used to do things like with one of my clients, particularly, used to go around to his apartment, leave the kids watching a video or playing on his PlayStation, and we'll be out in the hallway of his apartment and building and with a flip chart and working on there. Some of my clients, because when you get to know your clients really well, some of my clients I knew really well were, in particular, didn't sleep, didn't go to bed at, fairly early. We were up most of the night, and so I was having 12 o'clock one-to-ones on Skype and so forth with people, 12 o'clock at night, because I said it'd be like, anytime I can do it, if I do it there, I can do it at 12 o'clock once I've got the kids and all that sorted out in bed and got back from the hospital and everything and dinner and blah blah blah. Then I'll give you a ring when everything's settled down, but it won't be to about 11:30, 12 o'clock. And one of my clients was fine with that, so I've just made things happen and got a massive growth in my business. And that's really where I used the 3x3 formula, was what I was using on my own business. And it's interesting that when I heard from Jamie Smart about that thing about stop smoking, that really related. I thought, well, I found the answer to what I was missing, to how I was working with my clients, that I needed to bring into it, because it's all about the strategy and implementing. And then there's something else about this that I didn't bring in. And I mean, when I first presented this first ever at my networking event in Dunmo, I remember someone saying this is not the norm. That's not the norm, no. And I absolutely get that it's not the norm that your business would grow with all that life stuff happening. And there was a lot more other stuff that but I don't want to bore you and bring you to tears and stuff like that. But there was a lot of other stuff going on, and it isn't the norm. But that's why I'm the best person in the world to kind of to sort of teach you how to run your business, if you're a single owner business or a small business, because life happens and we need to deal with it and you work your way through it. So you're absolutely right if you're thinking, well, it's not the norm, and I'm not an extraordinary person, so I'm just very can-do and a very positive person. But then there's a lot of things I do that that make me positive, and that'd be things that I if you watch out, there'll be other presentations I do about positive thinking and stuff like that. But hey, so August 2013 was really key to my business growing, and which makes me the absolute expert and the right person to teach you how to do this with your business, so that when life happens, or anything that happens in life, that your business doesn't get affected. In fact, it grows. And this was born out of my business did take a bumper when I had a life incident. Something happened with the family and things happened a few years back, and so that's when I put all these things in place to stop that happening. So but the good news is they're all healthy now, they're all great, and she's absolutely wonderful. So really the joy of my life, and my two other boys, and you see they get on really well and have good fun with her. So let's talk about the 3x3 formula now. And this is the slide that we talked about first of all. So you've got strategy, mindset, and then implement. And as you can see, we've got the first line of 3 is the foundations, marketing, and then sales. And then below each one, another 3 elements to that, which is why it's a 3x3 formula. And let's just take foundations. So the very first part that you need to be doing in your business. And if you look at this, the first thing is your structure of your business and the admin side. And that's very simply that, and this sort of stuff, is just about whether or not you're a limited business, whether you're a sole trader, whether you need to be VAT registered, whether you're going to get an accountant to do your tax and VAT returns for you, whether you're going to get a bookkeeper to do your monthly things. All them sort of things are structured. Do you need to take on staff? Do you need premises? What equipment do you need for your business? You need to really understand all of that, because a lot of people, believe it or not, they don't understand. They just sort of go, I'll just start the business, see how it goes, and then go, oh, right, I've got a problem, I need an accountant, or I need this. These sort of things you really need to have as a structure of your business and what the administration of your business looks like, so that you're a proper business. Okay, so in advance that you're going to have to go and register for VAT in month 6 or something like that. How much income you need to turn over, how many sales you need to produce, and so all like that. So you really need to understand the structure and the admin of your business. The next part of the formula of the foundations is what products and what services are you going to sell. Now this is something that with all of these 3x3s, you can look at this on a monthly basis in your own business, because obviously there'll always be new products and new services that you'll introduce. But it's very key that you understand what products and what services it is that you provide, and also so you can put them into an upsell model as well, so what products are what for what customers. And if anyone walks into your business, there's quite a few businesses that when I first start working with them sort of say, right, so tell me about what products, businesses, what product services do you sell. Particularly when I work with coaches, they really say, oh well, yeah, I do one-to-one coaching, but that's not really a product service. So what exactly is it? Is it a 90 minutes? Is it a 3-hour session? Is it an hour session? Is it a VIP day? Is it a group session? What is it? So it's really, you've got to really have them identified about what your products or services. Think of your business, even if you do deliver services, you're in coaching, consultancy, something like that. Think of it having like a very small Argos catalogue, like a 1-page Argos catalogue, where if someone walked into your business, if I walked into your business and said, these are the products and these are the services that I offer in my business. So it's really key that you have that and have that highlighted, really key about what you do, rather than just being on the fly, particularly if you do something where it is services. Okay, and then looking at your vision and your personal development. Again, really got to have a vision about what is driving you to make this business a success. What is your vision? My vision is to affect people's lives powerfully and positively, to ensure that they have success through their business. It's a real strong vision for me, and you've got to have a strong vision that drives you, and not just saying a vision of what you really want in life. Because I want to drive, I want to be rich, I want to drive a Ferrari, I want a big house. That's not really vision. It's why are you really doing what are you doing? when will you be able to know, yeah, that is really, I am content? Because believe me, I know a lot of successful people that are not content. Um, they've got all the trappings of success on the outside, but they're really not content because they haven't really got a drive. Just making more money as a drive is really thing. I remember I was at a seminar once, and we had to turn around to the person next to us and sort of say, why you wanted success, and this person said to me, I want to get rich. And I just looked at him and I said, you're going to have a problem when you get there. And he sort of, and that went on to another question, well, why? And that's because if you haven't got a real driving force of why you want to get rich, if you want to get rich, what's just get rich? You want to get rich to do what? Buy a big house? That's fine. Buy a big house to support your family? That's a vision. I want enough money to buy my family and support them for things. I want enough money for my business to ensure that my kids, have the best of the best, that they ever want, so I can afford to buy them their first house, their first car, set them up in their first business. Whatever that vision is to drive, but you need to understand what your vision is. And personal development, we're going to go into this a bit later about the 80% rule, where about personal, but no one really, particularly when people start up their small businesses, they don't think about the personal development. Yet every successful business owner in the world really spends time on their personal development. And the ones that have got to success, when you talk to them about what was one of the key things about making success, there'll be some sort of personal development in there. So whether that's using a mentor or a coach or something like that, but there's got to be some sort of ongoing personal development that you do. And one of the rules of thumb is I think that Darren Hardy uses is the 10% rule. That if you look at all the success, Darren Hardy is a publications of the Success magazine in America and a successful business mentor, and one of the things that when he interviews all these successful business people like Richard Branson and so forth, one of the key things that always comes out is they spend 10% of their turnover on personal development. And as their businesses have grown, they've still spent their 10%, which becomes a large amount of money. So if you're only taking, if your annual sort of turnover at the moment is 30,000, and you're spending 10% on that on personal development, that's £3,000. But that £3,000 could easily, be the difference between your business going to 40, 45, 60,000, or even 90,000. Now, if it goes to 90,000 and next year you go the same ratio, you're going to spend 10% of your money to grow your business and grow you and personal development, then that's £9,000 you'll be spending instead of £3,000. So you'll get much more personal or better quality personal development, whatever it is. So you can see how that really grows, and that's why the top, successful business owners, people like Richard Branson, spend 40 grand or whatever on a coach or a business mentor, because it still relates, within their 10% of their personal development. So you really got to account for that right from the start. So that's foundation, structure and admin, products and services, and then your vision and your personal development. Actually, I do an hour a day of personal development. So 20% of my weekly time is spent doing personal development, whether that's listening to webinars, whether that's going to seminars, whether that's spending time with my mentor, spending time with my coach, whatever it is, I do an hour a day of it. And you've got to plan that into the foundations of you and your business, because that'd be really key. And even if your personal development could be just spending some time thinking about your business, thinking about what your vision is, thinking about how you're going to go to the next level, or you sort out an issue in your thing. Your personal development, really key that you structure that into the foundations of your business straight away. So that's foundations. We then look at marketing, and obviously the very first part of the marketing side. Now, marketing is to generate leads for your business. Okay, so when you go if we look at strategies and we go look networking, for instance, networking is about going out and getting leads. It's not about going out and getting clients. It's not about making sales straight from the back. Marketing, all marketing does is generate the leads. The sales bit comes afterwards, and it's very thing that you clear that out. Most people, I'm going to go networking because I need to try and get 3 clients this week. You don't look at it that way. You go, if you know you need to get 3, if you know, right, so each week if you need 3 clients and you know that you need to really have 6, your conversion rate of when you sit down with people one-to-one is about 50%. So you need to sit down with 6 people. To get people to sit down in front of, really you need to sort of kind of 10 people that you speak to, leads, or however you get them, people download your ebook or whatever you do. So you know that, so you have to go and get 10 leads to get your 3 clients. You need to know what that equation is. So then when you go out marketing, you're going out to generate that amount of leads. So you go, well, I need to go and generate 5 leads this week, because I know if I follow the process that I've got in place, then that would generate 2 clients. And so you look at that, not how many clients I need to get this week, how many leads do I need to generate. So first of all, in marketing, you need to identify who your ideal client is, and for each an individual product or service that you sell, because if you've got, you might have some different services that will have a different ideal client. There's some services I feel that are for instance, with affecting people's lives, that you can become a practitioner of affecting people's lives. So people can come to a course where they then be able to deliver affecting people's lives as themselves. So, but I teach them. We go through a whole training program and how to get clients and everything involved in it. Now, that type of client is completely different than to someone that comes on the Affecting People's Lives 3-day workshop. It's a different client completely. So you need to identify each client for each product or service that you have, and you need to be really specific. So just having the one I hate is when I say, so who is your ideal client? And they go, well, any woman really. And it's too woolly. It needs to be, the more specific you can get, the better. Women with children between the age of 6 and 10, that used to be in a full-time job but are now at home. It can be really, needs to be really specific for each product and service, because once you identified your client in a real specific way, the next part is really easy, is where to find your clients and the strategies that you need to be doing to generate these leads. Okay, so once you've identified a client, it's very easy that you're going to the right place. Where are you going to go and find these now? Does it need to be an online business? Does it need to be, you need to go out there to industrial areas, you need to go out there to network? Because if you're going to networking events particularly, you need to be going to the right type of networking events, because you need to go to networking events where your ideal clients are. There's some networking events that will not have your ideal clients at all, so so that's really important, that once you identify a client, you know then where to go and to work out where you need to go and find that ideal client, and what strategies you're going to use then to generate leads. And that comes into really how to grab the attention. So what tools are you going to use to grab the attention of your potential clients? So your ideal client, how you're going to grab the attention, because how often you say, in particular, oh, that'd be a great client for me, or that'd be great, that'd be great for what I'm selling, and you need, but they're walking in, they're not going to associate, they're not going to be attracted to you straight away. You need to have something that grabs their attention, which is why we talk about lead hooks and lead generators. You need to have lots of lead hooks and not lead generators. You need to give away great content, particularly if you're a service provider like I am, and as you know, I give away a lot of great content. What I'm telling you here is great content, but it's a way of grabbing people's attention so that they can then put their hand up and say, yes, I want to know more. So it's really important that you identify your client, where to find, then that you'll know where to find your client and what strategies you're going to use in your marketing plan, and then how you're going to grab their attention to get them to go from an ideal client into a lead now. Okay, so that's where you grab their attention. The next stage then, and the final stage, is the sales. So now that we've got the leads for marketing, it's now all about the follow-up process. And I could throw loads of stats and figures at you, but the biggest one that comes out is that of all things purchased, products or services, that 85% of customers have over 5 on average points of contact with the company. So knowing that 85% of customers that buy something have 5 points of contact. So if it's a pair of shoes, for instance, probably go to 5 or more shops before they choose one to share a pair of shoes that they want. Just recently I bought some trainers actually. I think that I went to a lot more than 5 shops before I bought the trainers that I did. So if you're looking at that with your clients, if you're 15, so we know that 85% of customers buy on the 5th contact or more on average. There's always going to be the ones that do it on the first time or the second time, but on average it's 5 or more. So knowing that, then it's still astounding that only 15% of all UK businesses follow up more than one occasion. So if you don't follow up at all at the moment, don't have a follow-up process, whether it's a phone call, email, a series of emails, whatever it is, if you don't have a follow-up process in place that is continuous, then just by putting in a follow-up process, you'll actually add quite a substantial amount of clients to your and sales to your business, just by having a follow-up process. And it's got to be more than one. Most people stop at one. I know so many businesses where they go and have one-to-ones with people and then don't follow up with them at all in any way, shape or form. And then they almost write them off by sort of saying, well, I've had a one-to-one and they didn't become a client, so and then don't speak to them again or anything. So it's a real, people need time to think, and so that follow-up process is really key. It's how you turn into you need a follow-up process that's going to take a lead. So someone that's put their hand up and said, yes, I'm interested in knowing more about what it is that you do, whether it's your product or service. If it's in a shop, obviously it'd be easier because they'd be picking up something, so even that, someone picks up something in your shop. If you're in a shop and someone picks up something and has a look at it, part of that follow-up process could be going and actually asking them if they need any help. That could be your very first follow-up process, rather than just leave them to decide whether they're going to take it to the counter or not. That's why we have salespeople in stores. Okay, so it's really important that you understand that once you've got a lead from your marketing sources, what's then the process to turn that lead into a client, and then have a complete follow-up process that definitely goes on beyond just one or two. The more follow-up process you have in place, the better. And actually, something that I do with my clients, we put in a follow-up process initially, which is a 3-step follow-up process, but then it just goes on repeat, so that it kind of goes on indefinitely until that person always says, "Look, I don't want to know anymore. Yeah, I'm interested." So that's something you need to have now. You need to really identify what your follow-up process is. The next part of the sales is that once you've got clients, is how you must have a process in place that increases the average transactional value. So instead of spending someone £20 with you, how do you get them to spend £30? Or instead of someone spending £1,000 with you, how do you get them to spend £1,200? By adding extra value and increasing that average transactional value. And then also repeat sales. So if someone's already bought from you once, then they trust you enough to part with money. Even if it's £1, even if it's £1 or £50, whatever it is, they've trusted you enough to part with money for your services or your products. So look at that, but how people, getting repeat sales, getting repeat customers. So you don't have to convince them anymore to know and trust you. They already do that. What you have to do now is add value and have products or services that actually that helps them, that adds value to what they purchased in the first place. So that's really important. So increasing your average transactional value and repeat sales. Now once you've done that, is then what do you do? What do you do in your business? The last part of it, to create raving fans. So where people go on Facebook and go to things that you, oh, that was brilliant, you just need to go and see that person, or you need to just go and buy that product off that person. You know, they become your word of mouth. Getting word of mouth referrals, as everyone knows, is really, really powerful, and it's also the cheapest form of marketing because it's free. You know, if you can do such a good job with one client that they go and get another client for you, that's fantastic. But how do you create that raving fan? You've got to have a process that says, I'm going to do this and this and this for my clients, that just takes it to another level, that it just makes me different from everyone else. Just keep adding value, and how these people become your raving fans. You know, they become your tribe, and so when you have a new product or new salesman, they're normally the first people to jump on, and if they don't do it themselves, what they do is they quite happily share your new product, your new service with other people, you know, or they share what you do, you know, they share your business with other people because they just love what you do. So that doesn't just happen. You've got to have a process in place that creates raving fans, because if you're just hoping they become raving fans, they never will. You'll never get any raving fans unless you create them, unless you have something that you do that creates them. They're always giving value, whether or not, you know, and sometimes some of your raving fans can be people that have spent very little money with you. And I always say that who's your best client is not necessarily the person that spends the most money with you. It's actually rarely that. It's normally the person that actually that is a raving fan, that talks about you to other people, that is always singing your praises, it's always waxing lyrical about you. You know, it's that going to that level. You know, it's not necessarily your best client. It's not always the one that spends money. It's rarely the one that spends the most money with you. In fact, there's a lot of occasions where they're probably your worst clients because they know they spend a lot of money. They want a lot more from you, and you end up giving, even though they spend more money, you end up giving a lot of your time or a lot of your value away. So creating a raving fan is not necessarily just by them spending loads more money with you, but it's about what you do to create that, to be different, to be personable, and whether you like it or not, whatever type of business, people do buy from people. And even if it's an online business, you know, there's something about that online. Why do people, you know, recommend other online services, you know, when they're bought online? It's because they've had a great experience. You know, it's because it's painless and it's a great experience, and that could be a way of creating a fan. You know, if it's an online business that you've got, your way of creating a raving fan could be making that sales process for a client online as smooth as possible. You know, and then have something extra on top, you know, in the delivery or something like that just, you know, that just makes them talk about you in a different way. And so that's really important. So excuse me. So when we look at the sales, it's really the follow-up process, how to increase your average transactional value and generate repeat sales, and then how do you create raving fans in your business. Now, how to implement all this. So we've gone all through the 3x3 formula. It's now about how to implement this now in your business to be a success. And the first way, obviously, is you can go and try and do it yourself. Now you've got the knowledge, and I've given you a lot of knowledge here that is not normally shared with people, and simplified it as much as I can so that you can go and implement this business, so you can go and try and do it yourself. The other option you've got is, if you want me to help you, you can get it done in just 3 days, because the affecting people's lives, the strategy, mindset, and implementation, I run over a 3-day course. And I say 3 days, but the 3 days are actually all just 10 till 2. So it's not even 3 days, it's 10 to 2 on day 1, 10 to 2 on day 2, and 10 to 2 on day 3. And the reason why that is because life happens, you've got things in life going on. I've done this myself, and a lot of other people have done it. We've gone 5-day courses and 3-day workshops and weekend workshops here and there. And then what happens is they're long days. They're normally like 9 till 6, or I think some of the ones I spent recently on a weekend one was, it was 9:30, didn't into 8:30, and then the next day was 9:30 and didn't into 7:30. So by the time I got back into my business the next day, it was I learned loads of stuff, but to go and implement it was really difficult because I had 2 days of catch up to happen, and not just 2 days of work, but 2 days of life to catch up on, because things happen, in the family with the kids and the wife and stuff like that. So there's always, remember, we go back, I said I preach what I teach. So for me, I want to work a 30-hour week. That's in line with my life plan and my business plan. So it's the same for my courses that I run. I run the 3-day courses. They're 10 to 2 each of the 3 days. And then you can go back and start doing stuff. So if you need to pick up the kids, drop the kids off at school, but if you've got kids, that's great. Then that's part of your business plan. That's part of your life plan, your business plan. That's the whole idea of people who run their own business, is so they can spend more time with their family. That's the number one that always comes out. What's the point then if you're going to be spending all day, not seeing your family? So my courses all run 10 to 2, the 3 days, because that's important. So they're mumpreneur friendly and dadpreneur friendly, and you can still go and drop the kids off and pick them up, and then got the rest of the afternoon to go and spend on your business. So your business doesn't stop for 3 days, your business is continuing to run. So day one we look at the strategy side. So we look at the products and services that you've currently got in your business, and whether there's any tweaks, and whether it's simplified so that people can understand exactly what products and what service you offer. We then highlight strategies to get leads, and then we look at that follow-up process to ensure that we're turning leads into clients. It's all around the strategy of your business, around the products, what marketing you're going to do, and how you're going to turn them leads into clients. So that's day one, all the strategy. Day 2 is about the mindset, and day 2 gets really interesting because also on day 2, not only do you have me and some other outside resources that I'll be helping team, but on day 2 we'll actually have a leading coach come in as well and help with this day 2, because day 2 is about prioritizing 3 strategies that are going to make an immediate impact. Okay, 3 strategies that are going to make immediate impact, and then we're going to explore excuses that happen. So remember, go back to this, saying what excuses could come up. So what things in life could come up that could stop you implementing them 3 strategies, or implementing all the processes, all the strategy we put in place on day 1. And then we're also going to really get to grips of what your vision is. So what is the real driving force, so that when these life excuses come up, we can always refer back to your vision as a driving source to drive you through these, to remind you why you've got to stick to the process. So that's all about the mindset, and because of that, we're going to have then, as I say, we're going to have a leading coach that I'm going to pay for to come in on the day 2. Now these 3-day ones, there's going to be running 8 of them over the year. They're going to be quite limited because they're going to be very small groups. So where, as much as possible on them days, it's going to be Tabitha Pascoe, that some of you might know. If you don't, she's a wonderful person actually before anything, and has a sort of 7 Your Success Rules is .co.uk is a website, and she just has a brilliant, it's the 7 steps to or the 7 secrets to success, and breaking your own rules and stuff like that. So from a mindset thing, we're going to have a top coach involved as well, and talk about a lot of things that I do as well as a positive thing. And me and Tabitha work great together. She's one of my clients, and we work great together, and we'll be working on that. So we'll be prioritising 3 strategies, exploring what excuses come up, and then coming up with your vision and great. There's going to be that's the bit that I was searching for the 3 months to add. This is part of what I was delivering to my clients. This is the difference that's going to make you not go into the red box and turn you into everyone into a green box. Okay, and on day 3, we'll be taking action and implementing. So we'll be doing stuff on day 3. With them 3 strategies that we prioritise, will be put in place. It might be doing a Facebook campaign. It might be doing something with your website. It might be doing flyers and stuff like that. Whatever it is, we're going to be doing it and taking action on that 3rd day. So we get up and going straight away. So that's really key. So that's going to make sure that it happens. So strategy, mindset, and then implement is all the 3 days. Now all 3 days, as I said, are 10 till 2, which is really important. And this is also something that no one in industry that I know of really that does this, where there's a guaranteed return on investment. Anytime that you spend money on trying to move your business forward, it's an investment, and you've got to look at it as an investment. If you're looking at it as a cost and oh god, I've got to pay for that way, then and it's related to your personal development or your business development, then that's not the way to look at it. It's an investment, and you've got to get a return on that investment. You wouldn't, if you were doing a paper adverts and you're spending £300 a month on paper adverts and you wasn't getting a single client, you would stop doing them paper adverts, okay? Because you're not getting a return on it. So whatever it is, it needs to be a return investment, and I guarantee you'll get your return on your investment. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail on how I can guarantee it, because it's easy saying I was a guaranteed return investment, but then again, a lot of my people say, oh, if you do what you do, you'll guarantee you'll double you'll be earning a 7-figure business and all that. I'm going to show how you guaranteed you get your return on investment, which is the major thing. Okay, now the investment for these 3 days is just only £1,000, and that's it. There is some payment terms as well that we can put in place, but that will cover all your 3 days and the guaranteed return on investment. And part of that, so now most of the ones will be held in a venue in Chelmsford, around Chelmsford, although we will be taking this around the country as well. But generally that will be, the 3 days will be held in and around Chelmsford area in Essex, and the £1,000 will include all 3 days and food and drink and anything we need to get, but also it will cover the leading coach coming in and joining us on day 2. It will also on the day 3 where we're implementing and taking action, will actually be promoting your business for you afterwards. So after day 3, it talks about taking action, implementing. When you go away and then start working in your business and start taking action, implementing from day 4 onwards as well, that what we do is my ads team, which I outsource to, are then going to put in some promotions to promote your business for you. So that's part of it. So my team will promote your business for you as part of that investment as well. Because really what I want to do is get you fast started. I want to get leads brought into your business straight away so that your follow-up process can start taking effect and you can start seeing an immediate return on your investment and an immediate success into your business. Because if you get that, that's what will drive you to obviously continue in it and sticking with the follow-up process, sticking to the strategies we put in place, because that will drive you. So that's my commitment to you, is that my team will promote your business for you as part of that £1,000 investment. And as I said, there's only 48 places available throughout the year. So and it's because it's really important that they're kept in small groups so you get as much of my personal time as possible. There's no point having 100 people in a room, because I would never be able to get through, and I'd have to dilute it so much. It's going to be very small groups, maximum of 6 people, and to make sure that you get the help and the support that you need, and and everything. And then also what will happen is depending on the types of businesses that are grouped together, we'll get people in to help us as well. So by day 1 and day 2, well, probably by day 1, at the end of day 1, I'll start knowing about where we're going to be going on day 3. So it might be that whatever's needed to take that action to implement that, I'll get people in on that day as well. So I need to support with that. So it's very important that we keep it down to just really a maximum of 6 people each one, so that we can really get unique. And also we do this as a one-to-one as well, but that's one arrangement. You'd have to sort of contact me sort of if you want to do it one-to-one with your business, then talk to me, get in touch with me personally about that to discuss that. So there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be able to get the benefit of this because only 48 places, but there's a real fee. So let's talk about this guaranteed return on investment now. So whenever you come to the 3-day one, so let's say, for instance, you come to November one. So in November, during them 3 days, we'll be putting a date in the diary to meet up again in 3 months' time in February. So November, yeah, February. So, and what we'll look at is we'll look at your 3 months previous to coming on the 3 days, and what your turnover was. So not your costs and all that, just purely what your turnover and what sales you generated. And then when we get back together again in February, then, or whenever you come on the course, 3 months later, we'll be looking at how much turnover you've taken in the 3 months since. And if your business has not generated more than £1,000, so it hasn't generated enough to cover your return on your investment within the first 3 months, then what will happen is that my team will then continue at that stage to promote your business for you. So you'll carry on what you're doing as well, because something might take, things in life might have happened. You might have to, and I think revalue it in 3 months' time as well, to make sure that these excuses haven't affected, rather than just going away and then dealing with it and then not there, that we've got 3 months' time to say, right, how is it going? Has anything happened that you've coped with and so forth like that. So really get into the mindset to make sure that you're a year down the line, you're not struggling more than what you want, because we want you to be a success. So in 3 months' time, we can evaluate the situation. It's a great way to have a chat as well, to find out how things are working and things might have changed slightly, so we can revalue some little bits. But we'll be looking mainly at your turnover, and if it hasn't increased by a minimum of £1,000, that you haven't got, if you haven't got your money back yet on your investment, then we'll put in place a strategy then about where we'll promote your business for you, and we'll do that for the next 3 months, and then arrange another meeting in 3 months, and keep doing that until you get investment. So that way, obviously for me, I need you to get your return on your investment very quickly, because otherwise be spending my time and money and my team's time to working for you for free, which is not what we want to do, obviously. So there's a real accountability for me to make sure that you become a success, and I think there's no one else in my industry, in business coaching world, that does that. You're not going to get that from any DVD sets that you buy or any seminars you go on, and I think that's quite unique. So, and it's my way of sort of just ensuring that you've got full easy when you go into this, that I am invested in you in being a success, which is really important. And it's not just about taking money, spending 3 days, going great, fantastic, that was someone else that come on the course, brilliant, and then you going away and going and then 3 months later, well, I went on that course, it was good, but I haven't really got anything out of it. I guarantee you'll get your return on investment back, and that's where I guarantee it. We meet up in 3 months, we'll assess the situation, and if it hasn't, then we'll meet up again in 3 months' time. But in between, we'll be promoting your business and driving your business for you. So that's a really unique guaranteed return on investment for you, which hopefully makes the £1,000 a bit of a no-brainer, really, for you, because obviously it might be that you've only generated, say, an extra £1,200. And you think, well, okay, it's covered its costs, but I haven't really. But then you'll have the tools in place, you have your business in place. That's only after 3 months. So that way you're going to quadruple your investment straight away if you carry on just doing what you're doing. But you won't, because it'll build and build and build. So that's the guaranteed return on investment. Now, with that in mind, let me tell you about the 80%, 80% thing, because 80%, now we all know that 80% of businesses fail, in the first 5 years. We hear that a lot as small business owners. We hear that, that figure a lot, but 80% of all businesses, fail in the first 5 years. And it's not a lie, that figure is true. One of the figures that you may not know is that on the 80% of all successful businesses have seeks help in terms of a business mentor or personal development. So what it's showing you that percentage there, which is really, when I first heard that a few years ago, it made absolute sense actually. But if you look at any successful business and ask them about their personal development, how much they spent personally, had they had a business mentor, 80% of all successful businesses have had a business mentor in that first 5 years, which made them a success. So that makes it a bit of a no-brainer, really. Now, the biggest issue with that is a lot of the businesses that start up, people haven't got the money to invest in a business mentor. Well, they don't see it as the right investment. They don't see it as spending that amount of money, a month on that is the right thing to do. But hopefully that video will show you that if you get help, the chances of you becoming successful are massively increased. And if you talk to any successful business owner in the world about personal development, as it helped, and had personal development and a business mentor, they will swear by them. Okay. And Richard Branson openly swears by, he started a mentoring thing in Australia because absolutely swears by it, so there's always going to be 20%. There's always going to be a bit of just do it their way, and they get lucky, or their business just grows really quickly, and then. But it's funny then, even when they grow their business, really, the first thing they seek out then is some help again. Being right, well, I've got all this money now. See, I'm going to go and spend some time with a business mentor because that sounds great, So that's a really important figure that you should know, that if you do get help, you've got a hell of a lot more chance of being successful. So what to do next? If this fits for you and you think you want to know more, there's not much more I can tell you in terms of, because it's pretty much laid out on the line there. But so if you're on the website watching this, then you'll see below this is a form where you can just put in your details to apply for it. All the positions for the courses are by application, so we don't just take anyone's money and then see them on days. We kind of want to have a conversation to make sure it's right for you first of all, and also we can talk about if there's any. We do some payment options. So it might be that you really want to do, really committed to doing it, but you haven't got the whole £1,000 right now, whatever. So we can talk about that as well. So what to do next is just apply for it if it feels something you want to do. The dates for the next one will be on this website as well. If you're watching this any other means, by YouTube or Facebook or anything like that, then go to the website Affecting People's Lives and you'll see the link, put it on the front page for it. So, which will take you to this video ironically, but you'll see the application form there. It's a very short form because initially it will just be about getting information when to, and to give you a call or an email just to find out if it's right for you. And then and in terms of payments, we do bank transfer, we do credit cards, not American Express, but all the other major credit cards, so credit or debit cards, and that's good. So just go and apply now. So if you think it's right for you, absolutely, go and apply for now. And if we just go back, then so day one is all about the strategy. Day two, really about prioritizing free strategies and exploring excuses and getting your vision, so getting that mindset right. So and as you remember, we go back to the August story. In August 2013, everything that was happening in my life, yet my business grew by a massive over 200%, and it was because of that mindset bit. So, be having a coach in there as well, one of the leading coaches in Essex and London or the UK for me. Tabitha will be helping that day, but we really get into that mindset and getting your vision outlined that will and that is the difference. That is the one thing that's a big difference. You know, if you went out of that room wanting to stop smoking, you had a real vision and a driving force, and you knew all these things were going to come up that were going to make you go back to smoking, but you know now how to resist that. Think of how powerful that is. That is a real key for me. This mindset is the real big key for me now to making sure that you don't fall into the red box and you fall into the green box to become a success. And then day 3 is preaching what we're teaching, taking action. We'll be doing it right there with you, getting going then, and start working on increasing your business straight away. So all days are 10 to 2. They're going to be around Chelmsford area. But you know, if you are from a different part of the area, then certainly looking at, we will be rolling out, but it'll be on this website beside it if there's any change of venue details. Guaranteed return of investment, as we talked about, 3 months time, guaranteed investment. The investment is only £1,000, but part of that will be, I'll be paying for Tabitha to come in on day 2 to help us, so you'll be getting me and Tabitha, which if you wanted me and Tabitha on one-to-one separately, it'll cost you a lot more than £1,000, believe me. So you're getting a hell of a good deal that way. You're probably saving yourself, actually doing this way, you're probably saving yourself a couple of £1,000 just by doing that. And also part of that £1,000 will go towards promoting your business for you. So on day 3, not only will you talking about what action that you'll be taking and what you'll be implementing, but also what we're going to be implementing and taking action with as well to help you generate leads for your business. And as I say, very limited places. So if it is for you, make sure you go to the site now and book in, go and apply, and then we can talk more on. And if you want to get in touch with me, then by all means do. And also touch base with me on social media. See all the social media links up the top there on the website. So touch base with me on social media. And worst case scenario, even if you don't come on the 3 days, go and implement some of this stuff in your business. If there's something that you really, if you watch this whole video and you go and do nothing, then you've just wasted your time and partly my time. Obviously it's online, so I haven't come out to see you, but you'll be wasting everyone's time. Even if there's one thing you thought, actually, yeah, I haven't got a vision in my business, I need to go and look at that. Go and look at that. Go and do something. Even if you don't come on the 3 days, go and do something in your business now and go and take action, okay? Because if you don't do anything, guess what? Nothing will change. You just go, oh, that was really good. That was quite informative. That was good content. But go and do something with that content. Because what I've told you, I've simplified it onto the, if we go back to the, all the way back to the, here we go. So if we go back to this, the 3x3 step formula. It's all very simplified, but it's all information that probably a lot of people would hate me telling you and going through this, because it's just simplified. There's a lot to each bit, obviously, but it's just very simplified, and it's the difference between making you and making a business success and not. Okay, because there'll be little things like that, personal development and vision, like even spending the power hours and personal development hours. You won't be doing that in your business at the moment, and how to grab attention. If you don't know what a lead hook is, a lead generation, how you generate leads, attract leads, or a follow-up process, then just go and look at it. So I've simplified it for you. Go and do something, okay? So thank you very much for spending your time watching this, and hopefully I'll be speaking to you soon about coming on one of the 3-day courses. And any questions at all, then get in touch, and I'll hopefully see you or speak to you soon. Thank you.